Welcome, beautiful soul. My name is Nicoletta Pichardo, and I'm your mindset coach. And if you're here to grow yourself on the inside so that you can grow more of what's possible in your life, you've come to the perfect place. Make sure to subscribe and let me know in the chat below what are topics you'd like me to talk about. Today, we're going to take a look at something that is important to everyone that's a big giver, and that is putting yourself last. Now, you might have heard the saying service above self, and it's a great, noble concept. And the idea is that you give first and you ask second. And that's a beautiful state to be in when you can help others first and then ask second. However, if you are doing this consistently, if you're always putting yourself last, there's nothing noble to it. In fact, it's just going to lead to a lot of burnout, exhaustion. It can be a lot like being on a seesaw. You're giving, 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 and then feel exhausted, maybe even resentful because you're thinking, hey, why aren't others giving to me? And then you'll pull back, not show up in the relationship, and that's not a good place to be in either. And I can certainly relate to that. So that's why I want to give you a few suggestions of how you can turn that around, still feel great about giving, and make sure that you put yourself on the map as well. And I can certainly relate because I've been in a relationship where I was always putting myself last. I was always giving to the other person. And I had all these great reasons for doing it because I cared so much. I loved so much. I wanted to be the support to the other person. But I also felt myself getting frustrated, getting overwhelmed, and sad, honestly, sad that I was always last, that I wasn't getting the support that I needed in the relationship. And when we are not putting ourselves first, there's nothing noble about that. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're doing this occasionally, that's a beautiful state. But if you're consistently putting yourself at the end of the line, think about what you're teaching the other people in your life, your significant relationship, maybe your team, your coworker, your friends. If you're always putting yourself last, there's a pretty powerful lesson or teaching that you're putting out there. And you're telling people that you don't count as much as everybody else does. And that's not true. It is time to change that narrative and put yourself and elevate yourself to the same level as everybody else. So here are three ways that you can change the equation. Because if you don't see the value in yourself, you can't expect anybody else to see how valuable you truly are. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you know what your own needs are. Have you ever noticed if you're a big giver, you are very clear what everybody else needs. You know exactly what they are asking from you. You know their desires, their needs. How clear are you on what you need? What do you need in the relationship to feel fulfilled, to feel happy? What are your needs? Jot them down. And what are your boundaries? Now, this is a big one. If you're a big giver, how clear are you on the boundaries? And I can certainly say for myself, that was a tough one. I never even asked myself what my boundaries were. I was just giving all the time. And you can see how challenging that really is when you think about turning the air conditioning on. I mean, how cold would you believe your house could get if you had the sliding glass door open, constantly letting the AC out? Probably you would not be able to cool your house down. And the same is true if you're always giving. It's having no boundaries. You can give endless and never refuel yourself. Not a good place. This actually impacts your relationship because you start to feel less valued. You start to feel like you're not equal in the relationship. And that's exactly what you're teaching the other people in your life. By the way, that's also what you're teaching your brain. So the third part is to really get clear on what you deserve and how much value you truly have. Your needs are equally as important as those of the people around you. You are just as valuable as the amazing people in your life, and you deserve to have your needs met as well. There is nothing selfish about putting yourself at the same level as the people in your life. It is time for you to shine your light fully, to be full of what you deserve. So I'd love to know from you in the comments below, where in your life are you going to change something and get clear about what you really need, what your boundary is, or how you're even going to level up the value you have for yourself? With that, Trust yourself, trust the journey, and see you next time.